Hey, what's up? This is Nick with Ultimate Motorcycling, and today we just got done riding something truly special. And the truth is, I've never ridden anything close to this. This is the 2021 King of the Baggers Championship winning motorcycle ridden by Kyle Wyman. Now, you guys know what the King of the Baggers series is. It was part of the MotoAmerica Superbike Championship and originally started as an invitational in 2020 with a single race at Laguna Seca. Now, Harley and a lot of V-twin manufacturers, American V-twin manufacturers, saw the value in this, and they were like, you know what? We're going to turn this into something. So in 2021, it turned into a multi-race series, and Harley jumped in a big way. So in January 2021, they committed to a full racing effort with their team, and within about a month and a half, they had a working prototype that Kyle rode and tested, and then by that same April in 2021, they went racing. So it was a really short time before they took a standard road glide touring bike and turned it into, well, something it was never designed to do, which was, well, hit the racetrack and carry 55 degrees of lean angle. So that's the story behind this. And this thing was a truly special treat. So realistically, we came out here to Inde Motorsport Ranch in Arizona and spun some laps on it. Now, I'm not going to say that I rode as fast as Kyle, because, well, I didn't, but we got a good impression of this motorcycle and what is in it. Now, we're going to get into this first ride review, or a very special first ride review, and I want you guys to stick around. Of course, the big thing that you guys want to know right off the top is, well, what is the engine like? This is the 131 CI crate engine that you guys can buy from Harley-Davidson, shipped directly to your door. Now, they did do some really important changes for this bike. For example, they changed the piston shape to deal with higher compression. They also added a high performance cam, and they changed the fuel injection because, well, this thing is thirsty, runs race gas, and needs a lot of fueling. Now, the impressive thing to me, and engineers said that it's probably making somewhere around 150 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. The fact that they've made this bike incredibly tractable, this fueling is just super immaculate. And so they've made just this torque monster, well, fairly easy to ride, which is super important when you're pushing around 600 pounds and trying to get it around a racetrack smoothly. There is no TC, no ABS, no rider aids of any kind, just a whole lot of power at your right wrist. And that's something that I really enjoyed. Now, per the typical Harley experience, because they can't really change the transmission to any huge degree per the rules, it still has your typical touring shifting style, so big chunky gearbox. And that's one of the biggest things to get over as, someone that rides sport bikes is, you just need to be pretty deliberate with your shifting. So it's still got that typical kind of Harley V-twin style shifting. Of course, there is a lot more to say about the Harley-Davidson Screamin Eagle 131R engine, and most of the trick modifications aren't directly related to creating more horsepower. In fact, they're there to help deal with the heat produced because of higher dyno numbers. Engineers are combating heat in a few ways, starting with a huge secondary oil cooler stuffed inside the fairing. They've also extended the cylinder head fins and added an air scoop to help further cool the cylinder heads. Again, this is still an air-cooled engine pumping out serious performance. The other thing that they did, obviously, is just really jack this thing up. As you can see, typically I am not standing behind motorcycles that come up to my midriff. For reference, because they've never measured the seat height, this thing actually stands taller than a Pan America. I mean, I can't even get both feet on the ground, and it's pretty wide. That said, it's got an Öhlins FGR fork in the front, so that is some Superbike kit. And in the rear, you also have fully adjustable Öhlins shocks that have the same suspension travel as the standard Road Glide and Street Glide STs, but the shock length is lengthened significantly, as you can see. And again, that's to give it that cornering clearance that it needs. Now, directly related to the handling is the Superbike riding position, which raises the rider way, way up to achieve a much better connection with the front end. Giving a bit of input into the wide, low-mounted handlebar will allow you to tip the bike in without much effort, and overall, this Road Glide Special race bike handles incredibly well. The foot pegs are located right under your hips for an athletic riding position, but since rear sets wouldn't work on a bike like this, they needed to be mounted directly to the engine cases. And yes, you feel a whole lot of V-twin vibration straight through your boots. taking a bike that started out as something 900-ish pounds and bringing it down to something like mid 4 or 640s in the range, fully fueled. Well, the thing handles incredibly well. It steers very predictably. It gets on the edge of these fat Dunlop slicks and wants to steer. And that's the thing about it that I really enjoyed. You can put it into the corner, it stays nice and stable. Now, it can get a little upset if you get that 600 pounds moving. Braking takes another huge leap forward with 4-piston Brembo calipers and 310mm rotors all around. You heard me right, the same size rotors and calipers are in the front and rear of this motorcycle. In conjunction with that, we have a Brembo 19mm radial master cylinder up front. In practice, this kind of superbike level braking componentry hauls these bikes down to a stop in a hurry. Overall, I had a blast on this thing, and it was just an incredible experience. Now, if you guys have any questions, and I guarantee you will do, drop them down below, and we'll try to get you some answers. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, just go ahead and be safe out there. Now, take care.